Hello, welcome to my channel at the Foxy Soap Company, Foxy HQ as it were. My name is Michael. I am the owner and the soapy creator here at the Foxy Soap Company. Today's video is going to be a brief introduction about myself. I'm going to show you a few of the products that I make, not all of them, just a few. Brief history of my skin sensitivity, and why my soaps help me, and they could also hopefully help you too. What did you think to my little intro there? That took me ages to do. I mean, ages to do. I've never edited videos in my life. This is the first time I've ever done it. But I'm getting used to it, I think. So hopefully these videos, because it's my first video, it's not going to be brilliant. But hopefully over time I will get a little bit better at this. Although I have just recorded 16 minutes of footage of where I've done all this before. Gone to play it back and it's all out of focus. Yeah, I daren't really move because it keeps trying to focus on the screen behind me. So I'm looking down here. It's not because I'm trying to read something, it's because I've got my phone set, so it just shows me my ugly mug, and I can see it's tracking me. So I'm trying to do that so it's not that I'm being weird or anything. I'm just trying to make sure how to get this to work. So anyways, back on track. My name is Michael, like I said in the beginning. I started the Foxy Soap Company from a personal perspective, a personal need, because of the incredibly, insanely maddening sensitive skin. I would react to absolutely anything: washing powder, pollen, conditioner, shampoos, moisturisers, anything and everything that would go anywhere near my skin, boom, I'd have a massive allergic reaction to it. I developed something called dermographism, and it is how it's said. I'll pop a little thing up on the screen if I can, how it's spelled. I'll also see if I can find some pictures, not of me, of other people with it. Where dermographism is where you could literally write on your own skin. So it was so sensitive that you could literally just do that on your skin, as gentle as anything, and within a few minutes, maybe 5-6 minutes, boom, your skin would become super inflamed, super sore, really hot, really itchy, like somebody poured boiling hot water, just like a scald. It was terrible, really terrible, and I don't get that now. That I still get the odd skin reaction to stuff, but not how I used to when I was a kid, because that probably started when I was probably 11-12 years of age. I don't ever remember a time where I didn't have sensitive skin and allergies and weird reactions to stuff. So as you can see from those pictures that I've just shown, it is extremely sore. It's very, very painful. The only way that I could actually make it feel any better is if I run my skin under cold water. But even after a bit of time, even water would irritate, to be honest. It was very uncomfortable, incredibly uncomfortable. So at that age, I didn't really know that much about skin sensitivities. I don't think 11 or 12-year-olds should know much about skin sensitivities. And also, yeah, back then there was probably things about allergies, but I do think we live in a more allergic society now. There seems to be a lot more people who do seem to be reacting to anything and everything, whether it's you've got a food allergy or you've got skin allergies or sorry Sorry, that was my alarm clock going off there. I won't be a second. So, yeah, allergies back then, people had probably just hay fever. That was all that really people had. Whereas now, yeah, the bodies have just become so sensitive to anything and everything. You've got people who are allergic to gluten, dairy. You've got people allergic to, there's even people allergic to water. To be honest with you, and you just feel, oh my word, how do they get through life like that? That must be so terrible for them. It really must. But at that age, I got touched to the doctors. So the GP had a look, could see straight away what it was, diagnosed it straight away. Put me on some antihistamines, made me feel terrible, super tired. Tried lots of different types, found one that worked. Didn't stop it completely, but it helped a lot. The GP also said that we had to start looking at, like, going back to basics with washing powders. Don't get anything expensive or like with all these additives in for stain removal, as he felt that was causing a lot of issues. So we went back to really basic washing powder and basic fabric conditioner, and again it helped, didn't solve the problem, and I carried on having that issue for many years later. I'd say I started to realise what was causing the problem with my skin, and that was something that we'll have to discuss in another video, because I don't want this video to be epically long like this one's going to probably be, even though it's only supposed to be a short little introduction. So anywho, before I go off track, I have got pointers on here to try and keep me on track. Washing powder. Oh, should I tell you about? No, I won't tell you about that. Yeah, I can remember as a kid it was terrible. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Brill cream, hair stuff. I was using Brill cream when I was probably about 13, 14, so I thought it looked cool and trendy. And I would say within about a month of using it, it didn't seem to be causing any problems, but then boom, it was just, I can remember going to school, and through the day of school it was very hot, and I think it was literally melting the Brill cream. It was the sun, which caused the Brill cream to come down onto my forehead, and then I had literally, I don't know if I can, it was literally a burn, went all the way around and down the sides. Epic burn it was, from the Brill cream. And I can remember when my mum saw me and she was quite shocked by it. Straight away, shower, shampoo it all off. Obviously I'd had a bad reaction to Brill cream, and that stayed on there. That burn lasted for so long. I can remember people looking at me as a kid and like looking at me as like I had some sort of epic skin disease, and like they were doing social distancing from me. If only they did that now. Eh? But yeah, I think something as simple as Brill cream you shouldn't react that badly to Brill cream, but that's just sort of to give you an idea of how my skin just reacts insanely to stuff. Right, yeah. Hence why I started Foxy Soap Company, because over the years I've tried different soaps, different shower gels, different shampoos, conditioners, face washes, moisturisers. I've tried everything, and I still haven't settled on a moisturiser yet. I'm nearly and I still haven't settled on a moisturiser, because I think there's that thing inside of you that you get bored with stuff. Oh, is it really working? Is it really doing anything? And so the new one that I'm on right now, I'm not going to say its brand name, but it's alright. It's probably not the best, but you've got to be so careful with changing stuff, because you could be having a reaction to something else that you don't know of. So you've got to sort of try and stick with something when you've got it, and that's why I started the Foxy Soap Company, so I could make a product that took everything out. Hence I developed what I now call for Foxy Soaps Calm Down, It's a very, very basic soap. There's no fragrance, there's no colourants in it. It's a glycerin based soap, which I love. Some people love it, some people hate glycerin, but I think that's probably going to be for another video as well, because I've just discussed it all before in my non-focused video, but I think I'll do that in a separate one, because I did rant on a little bit about glycerin there, about the benefits of it. But as a brief thing, I think glycerin in the UK usage is perfectly fine. We live in a very humid environment. I think if you live in a very dry environment, then maybe glycerin isn't probably the best thing to put on your skin, as glycerin attracts moisture. So when you're in the shower and you clean yourself down with a glycerin soap, it attracts the water from around you in the shower, and will just like let it sink into the skin and hold it there and keep the moisture towards your skin. And then because the UK is very humid, we normally have like humidity of like 60-70% on average kind of thing. I mean, in here I have to use a dehumidifier for the soaps, because they will never cure if I didn't do that. So yeah, I think glycerin in this country is perfectly fine. You're not going to react to it. It doesn't really do a lot to your skin. It's more the effect of absorbing the water from the air and bring it to your skin. Whereas if you're in a dry environment, you do the opposite. It would actually pull water out of your skin, because it's trying to pull it, because there's no water in the air. So I think glycerin usage in this country is perfectly safe in the UK. Other countries, maybe if you're drier, maybe stay away from it. But when I made soap, it took about a week before I started to notice it helping in any way, shape or form. I started to lose that heat from my skin that I'd have, where everything was so sore, it would just be hot all the time. But in my head, it wasn't really working fast enough. I think you always really want something to work really quickly, but unfortunately you've got to be a bit of patience when it comes to sensitive skin. So by the 2-week mark, I would say my skin felt pretty much normal. I had stopped with the burning pain. The itchiness had almost gone. That's how I knew that there was something that I was washing with that was causing the problem, and that it wasn't necessarily the washing powders or the fabric conditioners or possibly the moisturisers or the shampoos and stuff, but actually it turns out that a lot of them had this certain chemical in it that I discovered, which I will be discussing in another video, about this certain chemical that really affected my skin. And I can't quite believe they keep it in certain products, although I have noticed when I've been looking at products recently, they're using it less and less, so I'm presuming they've realised that it can cause serious issues in skin sensitivity. So once I'd made the Foxy Calm Down and used it for a long period of time, I realised then that my skin was actually very happy with itself. It wasn't reacting like it used to anymore. I actually stopped taking antihistamines, which was the first, really. I'd say probably a mini rebound effect when you take antihistamines and you stop taking them. I've always felt that you get like a bit of a rebound where your immune system sort of goes a bit mad just for maybe a day or two, and then it will just calm itself back down because it's been suppressed, artificially suppressed, and then obviously it's like whoa, and it comes out, and then it drops back down because it realises it doesn't need to do anything anymore. So because I'd realised then that everything had calmed down, I got bored. I got bored of the plain calm down, and I think everybody's the same. I think everybody wants something a little bit different, or something to smell pretty or look nice, and so I started to experiment with different essential oils, and I realised I wasn't reacting to these fragrances. And then I started to experiment with actual perfumes, where it was not artificial, but because I think sometimes when you think of a perfume, you think totally artificial. It's not. It's just different blends of essential oils. Sometimes there are some with artificial elements in it, but they've actually been proven to be very safe. And the fact that I don't react to certain perfumes is also an indication that I think as long as you keep certain chemicals out of them, you're not going to react badly to them. And also I think it's the levels that you put in. I think you'll notice with all my soaps is that I only put enough in of colour and of fragrance. I don't put too much in, because what I do is I will test my soap on myself, see what sort of reaction I get. If I don't get a reaction from it after a few weeks, my next batch will be a much stronger fragrance, and I'll use that again. And if I don't react, but I'm happy with that fragrance and I'm happy with that strength, I'll keep it like that. I won't change it. Whereas if I start to react to it, then I'll knock it back, and if I don't react to it, then that's the level I'll keep it at. Obviously all my soaps are kept within the legal limits. They're way below the legal limits. I think when you get soaps from other manufacturers and like you smell them, like, oh my god, they smell gorgeous, because they are on the max of the fragrance and of the colourance, because they want them to look as bright, as colourful and as fragrant as they can. And it may be nice if you don't have certain allergies, but even people who don't have skin allergies can react to those soaps because they are to the max, because they want the impact, they want the sensory impact that you have from them. Whereas my soaps seem to my soaps seem to hold it inside, and it's when you're using it that the fragrance comes out as you're actually using them, which is probably a bit different for certain soaps. Because for some soaps, when I've made them, I've thought, well, what's happened to the fragrance? Where's it gone? It literally doesn't smell of anything, and it's only when you actually use it and test it and you're like, oh no, actually that is actually very nice, that has come out. So yeah, it's some of my soaps, you'll smell them, they hit you in the face, they are very strong, because again, every fragrance reacts differently when it comes to soap making. It's a bit of a weird thing with soap making. So anyway, I've gone off track again. I don't know what is wrong with me today. I just can't think straight. So a little quick look at my notes, just to try and keep me on track. Yeah, the chemical that I've cut out of my environment, I will discuss it in another video, because I think it's important people know about it. But it's a dangerous chemical. I mean, they used it in rat poison, for God's sakes. It's not something that you should be putting in, something that you put on your skin. But because it's a good preservative, they bobbed it in there, and they only realised it was a good preservative because these rats that were dying from it weren't breaking down, which is kind of frightening that someone put two and two together and thought, oh, I know, we'll bob that in our products that you're going to pop in your skin. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. After making soaps myself and realising that they work really well for sensitive skin, they are brilliant. I've had people tell me that their eczema and stuff's cleared up from using soaps that I didn't actually think that would help clear up eczema and stuff, because I think because I got into that mindset of that if you put fragrance in something, it's going to react, you're going to react to it, and you're not, because you've taken out the other elements that cause the reaction. The whole aim is to try and, if I sort of try and explain this, your body becomes so irritated and sensitive to anything that every time you have a reaction, your body's immune system gets pushed up that little bit more for sensitivity. Then you react to something else and it'll get pushed up again, and it just keeps getting pushed up and up and up until the point of where you are reacting to literally nothing and everything. You don't know what you're reacting to anymore. And so I think that's why you always need to go on to a bit of like a reset of trying to figure out what it is that's causing the original sensitivity, because all these things that you're allergic to afterwards may not even be related to that. Your body might not actually be allergic to that. It could be allergic to the thing that started it all. And that's the thing. So when you use a soap with a perfume in it or an essential oil, it doesn't mean you're going to react to it. It doesn't. It just means that you could have reacted to something else in that soap with the fragrance in it as well. So when I was told about the eczema clearing up on, I think it was a baked cherry or baked apple soap, I can't quite remember which one it was. It was my little tarts that I used to do, and very basic, I'm being honest. Very basic fragrance. It smelled nice. It's nice enough to eat, but not that you should eat soap. But no, I can't sit here and medically say that these soaps are going to cure you, or they're going to completely clear up problems with your skin. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that it will do, because there is a chance it might not. But I do think people have to go back to basics when it comes to soaps, because you're putting this on your skin, and your skin is at the end of the day an organ, isn't it? And you've got to treat it correctly, otherwise it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. My recipes are always at the lower end of the legal limits. I like to try and keep things, actually maybe one of them's not, one of them has got more colorant micas, which are very safe if used in the correct amounts. But all my soaps are tested on me. They're not tested on animals in any way, shape or form. Could never dream it. I've got pets of my own. They're my kids, as they were. I've got one insane Shih Tzu, which is amazing, but she's insane. I've got a Plumber Terrier. She's 16 going on 17 now, bless her. She's got dementia. She's having a few issues at the minute. But try not to think about it, because I hate thinking about stuff like that. And I've got a cat, Siamese cat, called Maya. She's adorable, but she thinks she owns the house. But then all cats own the houses. But yeah, so there was no way that I could ever dream of having anything tested on an animal. It goes against everything that I am. But that's not to say that my products aren't, well, not even the products, the actual recipes are checked by pharmacologists. They make sure that what you're doing is legal. Fragrances and the colorants and any sort of additives that you pop on, so say like there's a soap that I'm going to be bringing out that's a pink Himalayan sea salt. You've got to make sure that you put the right amount of salt in and stuff. You can't put too much in, well, again also because you can't really make soap properly with it, because it turns into crumbly. It's like a crumbly thing. But no, so I have a pharmacologist, there's 3 of them actually, who check to make sure that the recipes are safe to do, even down to what's packaged in. They make sure it's safe, because obviously there's legal things that you've got to follow there about packaging to make sure it's hygienic and it gets to you in one piece, and it's not going to be covered in horribleness, really. All the colourants that I use in my soaps are cosmetic grade colourants, so it's like what you would have in your makeup. So it'll be things like eyeshadow, bronzer, lipstick, anything that you can put on your skin and leave on is what I choose to put in my soaps that you'll be washing off. A lot of these companies will use, there's several sort of categories as to what you can put into soaps or cleansing products or shampoos and things like that. But one thing that I look at very closely in colourants is the category as to where you can put colourants in that will stay on your skin, and the category of colourants that you can leave, that you can wash off your skin. I would rather, it's far safer to have a colourant that you can leave on your skin that's been tested to make sure that you are not going to react to that colourant. And also the majority of micas are actually weirdly natural. Some are artificial, but they're actually made to be the same composition as natural ones, so they're very clever how they do that. So yeah, so I only use micas and colourants that you can leave on your skin. So things like if you don't quite rinse yourself off properly, maybe in a rush or something like that, it's not going to affect you in any way, shape or form. So they're perfectly safe. I'm also expanding the organics range. I totally understand that people don't want anything artificial at all in their soaps. So there's also going to be a hemp range. They smell really nice actually. So they're very, very basic, but there's going to be ones with carrot oil and carrot powder and carob, and they are very good. And they're going to be free of artificial perfumes. There's got essential oils in them. No colours at all in them. Yes, the organics range will be expanding. We're also going to change the form factor, because I do think that the soaps I've been making are possibly a bit too big. I think I'm 6'4", so it's quite hard for me to sort of think about the size of the soap, because they fit perfectly in my hands. But there are times when I've actually been using the soaps and I can't physically hold them. I think maybe these are a bit too big, so I have changed how they look in the new ones. They are, instead of being as big chunky things, they're now long bars. Very good for chopping in half if you want to make them last longer. They're a good size still, but you get the same amount of soap, you can just use them as two. Anyway, yeah, so I do think I've been talking for too long. You're probably bored of me by now, but also it's terrifying, the idea that I've got to somehow edit this. Gotta try it, haven't I? But I need to finish, so don't be horrible about my video, okay? Don't be doing nasty comments down below. This is my first video, it's going to be rough, but we'll get through it. Because clearly I'm not a professional, editor, and I do everything here at Foxy. I from start to finish, I do absolutely everything, even down to the website, which I hate at the minute. I don't like the look of it, but I will be changing that. Yeah, so I'm going to try my best with putting the pictures in and stuff, and there's some text and things like that, but if it's a rough video, please forgive me. So yeah, so I'll try to do videos every week if I can. I do have a problem of talking too much. Not that people, yeah, they have complained. Yeah, they have. Even in my text, I talk too long in my text. That's another story, isn't it? Yeah, so I'll be uploading as regularly as I can on the channel. It will be mainly about the products that I make. But I might do product reviews. I don't want to sort of like lock this channel into anything in particular. I'd like it to just sort of, well, also like where you could ask me things as well, and we could have a bit of discussion about it all. So I'd love if you could ask me questions, and I'm more than happy to answer them. You can bob onto our website, you can email me if you need to. We're on Instagram, Facebook. I don't really use it, if I'm being honest. I think I don't want to say it, but Facebook I don't. I will be doing other reviews on the products. I'm also going to be showing you the products. I just thought for this first video maybe not show it, because I need to figure out how to do that. But yeah, we'll be going in depth into each video. Maybe those videos will be much shorter. It'll be more like a brief showing off of the soaps and what the fragrance is, because it's very hard sometimes to describe fragrances to people. But anyway, yeah, somewhere down below apparently you've got to click on a bell. And also there's a clicky thing somewhere to say you can subscribe. I'd have a little look right now, but I have no internet. It's gone off again, and I don't really know why. Somewhere down below, if you could clickety-click, it'd be very nice of you. Yeah, so then you get told when I upload something. So yeah, it'd be nice if you all become part of the Foxy family and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Stay foxy.